thoughts are with the families who lost loved ones in the horrible plane crash last night in Washington, D.C. I'm sure you know, around 9 p.m. last night, an American Airlines flight from Kansas collided with a Black Hawk Army helicopter. There were no known survivors. It was the deadliest air crash in 24 years. And so during a 40-minute press conference this morning, President Trump spent 2 of those minutes offering words of comfort and sympathy to the victims and their families, and 38 minutes blaming Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg and diversity. I'm not really sure Donald Trump knows he's the president, because remember when he waited 10 minutes after the wildfire started here in L.A. before he started blaming DEI? Well, I guess he learned from that lesson, because this time he slept on it and then started pointing that little orange nub.
You have today blamed the diversity elements, but then told us that you weren't sure that the controllers made any mistake. You then said perhaps the helicopter pilots were the ones who made the mistake.
It's all under investigation.
I understand that. That's why I'm trying to figure out how you can come to the conclusion right now that diversity had something to do with this crash.
Because I have common sense, okay? And unfortunately, a lot of people don't.
Take it from a man who looked directly into an eclipse. You need common sense. If a straight white male pilot had injected a little bleach into that helicopter, none of this would have happened. And by the way, it may have been a straight male white pilot, may have been 2 of them. For all he knows, the cockpits, the control towers could have all been full of straight white men. But Trump, he hears the word Black Hawk and he's like, oh, if that hawk had been white. Seriously, though, are there people who voted for him good with this? Every time there's a shooting at a school, they're like, it's too soon to be talking about gun laws, but never too soon for Trump to point his finger. A terrible thing happened. All he had to do is go out there and say, this is a tragedy, offer some comfort to the families, to the military families, promise to get to the bottom of it, but he can't do that. Because he's callous, he's racist, he's sexist, and most of all, he's stupid. He's a deeply stupid man. To blame this on DEI is it's like blaming 9/11 on hummus. It makes no sense. I think maybe he gets jealous when a disaster gets more coverage than him. He's like, I'm the biggest disaster. You point that camera at me right now. You almost have to hand it to him. The sheer number of ways he finds to be a dirtbag, it's kind of miraculous. You'd think you've seen them all. He's like, feast your eyes on this one. And no one from his side calls him out on it. Even the billionaires are scared of him. Remember back in 2021, Meta suspended his Facebook account after he maestroed the riot on January 6th. Well, Trump sued them, and guess what happened? They settled out of court. Meta has agreed to pay him $25 million. $22 million of the dollars will go towards Trump's presidential library. That's L-I-E-brary, in case you're wondering how to spell it. According to the Wall Street Journal, this deal has been in the works since November, when Trump threatened Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg. He told him he wouldn't be brought into the tent until the case was settled. So Zuckerberg scurried over to Mar-a-Lago with a big oversized check like he hit the Publishers Clearinghouse. Even at 78 years old, Trump is still bullying nerds out of their lunch money. This now is this is the second most embarrassing thing Mark Zuckerberg has done this year. The first was taking this photograph. But it really is amazing. We have a president just shaking these guys down like a mob boss. And I wanted to understand how this is in any way acceptable. So what I did is I went to Meta AI, which is owned and operated by Mark Zuckerberg, and I typed in, what does it mean when the CEO of a major tech company pays the president of the United States $25 million? And this is the real response I got. That's a hypothetical scenario, and I'm not aware of any real-life instance of a CEO paying the president $25 million. If you're referring to a specific news article or report, I'd be happy to help you understand the context. In general, if a CEO were to pay the president a large sum of money, it could raise serious ethical and legal concerns. Here are a few possible interpretations. Campaign donation. If the payment was made during an election campaign, it could be considered a donation. Bribery or influence peddling. If the payment was made in exchange for favorable treatment or influence over policy could be considered bribery or influence peddling, which are illegal. Philanthropic donation, if payment was made to support a specific charitable initiative or cause championed by the president, could be considered a philanthropic donation. It is essential to note that the President of the United States is a public servant, and their primary responsibility is to serve the interests of the American people, not to accept payments from private individuals or companies. That's from Meta, which just paid him $25 million. Maybe AI is smarter than we are already. I don't know. And then we have Elon Musk, who gave Trump $250 million and has reportedly been working so hard he's sleeping at Doge headquarters in the building next to the White House. He's sleeping at work and yet somehow still finds time to post 600 times a day on Twitter. Elon loves telling people he sleeps at work. I'm not sure he even has a house, to be honest. He has 12 children and no home. He's like the old lady who lives in a shoe. This morning in the Senate this morning, we had a three-ring circus at the confirmation hearing. Three of Trump's most mind-numbing nominees put on a show, the likes of which has never been seen in Congress before. What a week. I mean, if you thought a blackout drunk for defense secretary was a bad call, allow me to introduce you to Bobby Brainworm, Comrade Tulsi Gabbard, and Kookie Kash Patel. This is the man Donald Trump wants to run the FBI. Look at him. I mean, he's already surveilling your soul. He's quite possibly the least qualified candidate for any cabinet position ever. He's an election denier who this morning refused to admit Joe Biden won in 2020. He refused to say those words. He produced a song with the J6 Choir. This is a group of singers who stormed the Capitol. He denied knowing any of the details of that this morning. And he wrote a children's book in tribute to Donald Trump. This is a real book. There they are together. It's called The Plot Against the King. It's the story of King Donald and a hero named Kash the Distinguished Discoverer, which is it. It's like Crappy Potter in the toilet of classified secrets. This man has an enemies list, which is a great thing for an FBI director to have, and also seems to really love a good meme.
Regarding his publication of his enemies list, Mr. Patel proclaimed, "The manhunt starts tomorrow," and reposted a video depicting him taking a chainsaw to his political enemies. Is that you, Kash Patel, reposting that at the top of that page?
Senator, I had nothing to do with the creation of that meme.
Is that you reposting it, was my question.
And that's me at the top.
No one can just admit to anything. He reposted that meme. And then we had Trump's pick for Director of National Intelligence, this Tulsi Gabbard, who Russian state TV referred to as our friend Tulsi. She was evasive. She was also a Democrat 2 years ago, but now she's totally different, I guess. This tells you all you need to know about the tone of these hearings. This is Tom Cotton, Republican chair of the Intelligence Committee.
I will note that during Senator Bennett's question and answer, there was two disturbances in the room. The first sounded like a cell phone. I would ask everyone on both sides of the dais, if you have not silenced or turned off your cell phone, please do so now. The second disturbance was the cries of a small child. We will welcome such disturbances because the cries of an infant are the sound of answered prayers.
That's a human person, you know. Not if you're a parent, they're not, by the way. What a weird thing to say. Could you imagine working with that guy? Like, could you imagine having him in your... You'd never have a company Christmas party because no one would want to hang out with Tom. But the main maniac in the hot seat today was Robert Kennedy. Today was round two for RFK, a man whose views are so demented they should come with a warning from the Surgeon General. Bob got off to a hot start this morning, courtesy Washington Senator Patty Murray.
You were accused of sexual harassment and assault by Eliza Cooney, who was first hired as a part-time babysitter by your family. When you were confronted about this accusation, you said you were, quote, not a church boy, and that you, quote, have so many skeletons in my closet. You then texted Ms. Cooney an apology and indicated you had no memory of what she described. Did you make sexual advances towards Ms. Cooney without her consent? Yes.
No, I did not. And that story has been debunked.
But why did you apologize to her then?
I apologize for something else.
There was something else? Let me get this straight. This woman lied about you sexually assaulting her, and you wrote to apologize for something else. Sorry I spilled Fresca on your ottoman. It was... Robert Kennedy would not admit that he said autism comes from vaccines, even though we have this.
I do believe that autism does come from vaccines.
All right. He lies about important things. You can't get a straight answer out of Robert Kennedy Jr., but you might be able to get one from Robert Kennedy Jr., who we've invited to join us tonight and who is standing by live. Hello there, little Robert.
Is that you, brainworm?
No. It's not the worm in your brain. It's Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, go away. I'm busy.
Where are you? What are you busy doing?
If you must know, I'm at CVS getting rid of all these poisons that you call medicine.
Which poison specifically are you getting rid of?
Like this one, for instance.
Uh-huh.
It's right here. I'm just gonna get it.
Yeah.
My muscles are so big, it's hard to pick things
Yeah, I can
up
see that,
sometimes.
yeah. What is... I know you're having trouble... Yeah.
Medication for lupus. Gone!
Why are you throwing away lupus medication?
Well, if you did your research, you would know that lupus was bioengineered in the Fruit Loops factory. It's right in the name.
It is
Fruit
not...
Lupus.
No, the lupus is not caused by Fruit Loops. They have nothing to do with each other.
That's a good one. Don't make me laugh. That's a knee slapper.
Yeah. All right, okay. Okay, all right. All right, well, so that you're getting rid of the medications, huh?
If you walk with me this way, we're also getting rid of something else.
Okay. Your pants are pretty tight, huh?
Yeah, I keep them tight to make my muscles look bigger. Is it
Okay.
working? Next up, we're getting rid of not just medicine, but sunscreen. Sayonara! Hey-ya!
What's your problem with sunscreen?
SPF is a hoax. I've never worn sunscreen a day in my life. And look at me. Don't I look healthy?
Not particularly. You are muscular, though. I do have to give you that.
I know. Look at me in my jeans.
Yeah, I see that, yeah. Yeah, so, all right. Hey, stop that. You're making a mess. Somebody's going to have to clean that up.
I'm not stopping. After Big Pharma, we're taking on Big Aqua.
Big Aqua?
Yeah, you heard me right. Big Aqua.
What is that? What is Big Aqua?
It's the water lobby. We're taking the fluoride out of the water and replacing it with piranhas.
What? You're going to put piranhas in our water supply?
You're damn right I am.
Why would you do that?
To discourage people from drinking it. Water is the worst thing you can put in your body.
Now, that's not, no one, that's false. How can you, I mean, you have that water. How can people stay hydrated? You can't stay alive without
With
water.
baby chick smoothies, you take a baby chicken and maybe some mice, you put them in a blender, you turn it on, you drink that. I drink them with my Hawk Deathwing all the time.
What is your hawk's name?
Deathwing.
Deathwing.
You get death plus wing.
I see.
He hates death, he has wings, that's his name.
I understand. Okay.
Deathwing,
So-
dinner time. A-ring-a-dingy-dingy.
Yeah, I want. Wow, you seem to have a hole in the whole side of your body there, RFK. Oh my God.
I got a mouse tail.
Wow, this is what your cousin Caroline said. She said you put mice and baby chicks in a blender, and I guess it's true. She also called you a predator.
I ought to hunt her down for that.
No, please don't do that.
Hey, guess what? One time I ate the beehole out of a live giraffe. I climbed up there and I was like...
I don't need, it's not, I don't know
Nectar
why,
of the gods!
I don't know why you would mention that, and also it sounds dangerous to me.
Please, Kennedys never die. I just sent you an article about it. Check your phone.
You did? You sent me an... Oh, all right. Hold on a sec. Pardon me for a second here. Oh, my God. This is a photo of a very sun-damaged penis. This is not a...
My mistake. I'm sorry. That was for a reporter I know. He's smoking hot.
Okay.
What in the world are you doing?
Deathwing! Deathwing to the skies! Deathwing! Ah! Come on,
What is that,
Sundance! Yeah!
a quail or something? All right. Well, thank you, RFK Jr.